So just for a little bit more visual reference, this is kind of the effect that I'm going for, this part where towards the lower part of any particular hill where it meets up with the hill a little bit closer. I'm wanting to take out a little bit of value, make it a little bit lighter. I haven't done that in this one and this one. But I'm going to do a little bit of that with each of these shapes, but still in a way that lets me sort of be in control of just how quickly things are going to darken up. So I'm going to do kind of a similar thing with peacock blue in this next one. Not sure if I said it in this video or another one, but I did leave the range between how light this is and how dark this is nice and wide, to allow me to come back and adjust things how I would like them to be. Again, it's easier to darken things down a little bit in watercolor than it is to lighten them up. So I'm just doing another pass on this hill, and I'm going to darken the whole thing a tad. It's another technical art term. A tad. I'm not worried so much about if I go exactly within the lines of that next one. And in fact, a little bit of overlap is kind of a cool effect. So here's a little bit of just overall paint into that shape. And now I'm going to turn it on its head, come back around here. I'm gonna. This is going to help me do a couple things. Both help me define this shape and refine this line, as well as let me drop in a little bit more darker color along the lines of what's already happening here. I'm going to pick a little bit, making this a little bit more concentrated. I know we haven't really discussed this technique a whole lot, but it's really quite similar to just painting a flat wash, and then while everything is still wet, bringing in a little bit more concentrated color. The part, I know you can't see what's happening here, maybe I'll do that, but the part that gets tricky is to not introduce too much extra water as you're introducing a little bit stronger color. So it's good to first try to get your brush to a point where it's not completely watery. It can also help to just use a smaller brush to bring in the stronger, more concentrated color, because it's not going to hold nearly as much So I'm just bringing, it's easier to just bring in, to control a little bit more of how much darker paint you bring in. And you can do that with the synthetic sort of. And just like everything else, that's something we can certainly build up in subsequent layers. See, I've already, I can already tell. I can't tell what I can tell. Hey, that's fun to say. But I can already tell that this, I may have, is that too dark? I mean, I know it's a little bit darker than this, but I'm going to keep toning everything down. I think it's going to be okay. At least that's what I'm thinking right now. Reserve the right to change that. As it's drying, I'm just kind of seeing, is there something else I could do while that's not touching that shape? I kind of want to wait and keep doing it progressively to really get a better idea of how dark, how fast I'm going. So I'm going to let that dry. Okay.